So today we're going to talk about being strategic when you're pricing your homes. A lot of people think that they can get a listing just by telling a seller they can get whatever price. It's just not the case. And so you're going to start really seeing properties sit on the market for much longer times. In a seller's market, anyone can sell a home, and you can get a surplus. You can get a higher price point just because of supply and demand. But in a market that we're going into, it's really stabilizing itself. It's getting less of a seller's market. Now, homes are still selling. They're selling quick if you price them right and if you're marketing effectively. So we've sold several in the last week within 7 days in the market, but we're pricing our homes right and we're pricing them to sell. Our sellers understand that, you can price high to come down, or you can price right to sell at full asking price. When we go out and we price our homes, we solely base our homes on what is closed. And I'll give you guys a scenario. We had a property that we went off of based on last year's comps. Well, last year's comps were better than this year's comps, and we told a seller that we should list at $235. Ended up selling for $220. But once again, we were looking at last year's comps, and I told them that. I was like, look, we're comparing last year's numbers with this year's market, which is not the same. And so what I'm getting at is, when you're pricing a home, you've got to be cognizant of what's sold, what the current market is now, and you also have to understand what is the seller's goals. Can they afford to wait 60 to 90 days, or do they need to sell in 30 days? So you adjust your market and your comps by what other properties are going for and what they've sold for in the days in the market. So if you've seen a property that's sold, they've had to drop the price 3 or 4 times, and it took them 180 days in the market. Well, had they priced it right on the front end, they would have sold it right in the first place. So only base your comps on sold properties. An active property is not a comp because it hasn't closed. You can use it to understand where the market's at now, but a lot of people are pricing their homes too high, and the homes are having to sit on the market. So price a home right, it'll sell fast, and a lot of times you'll go into multiple offer if you price it right. And that's what we've seen in the past couple weeks. Moral of the story, price your home right and do your clients the right service, and not just try to get the listing. At that point in time, you're hurting not only yourself, but you're also hurting the seller as well. So price it right, sell it fast.